Alright, have some quick announcements, and it has been a while since I've recorded content. I typically sit down and record a good number of videos, and then they gradually release on Fridays for the next, say, month or two, or sometimes up to 6. So I am recording this the day before it comes out because content is starting to catch up to me. With my job with US Chess, I'm actively creating content on the US Chess YouTube channel, so please consider jumping over there, liking, subscribing, hitting that bell notification to help us out. In the meantime, I wanted to make the announcement that I have, in fact, signed a contract on my first white repertoire for Chessable, and it's going to be an E4 repertoire. We've already seen in a few of the previous videos some lines, some ideas that are likely going to be in the book. A lot like this one that's going to be in the following game. So we had a video on the Caro-Kann Spielman variation, and the Caro-Kann, it's a tough nut to crack if you're not playing the advanced variation, but to me, I'm looking at interesting, entertaining variations where we can get a fight. There's not much to learn. Flavorful. So that's how I'll define overall the text. And no, I'm not sharing lines, and no, I'll be asked at least 20 times, when is it coming out? When is it coming out? That's based on publication schedule and when I completely finish turning in the lines and then record, I don't know, at least 8 to 10 hours worth of video content for it to be released, edited, etc. So an announcement like this goes out 6 months, 9 months, depending upon how many projects there are in the queue before me. So that answers that question as we continue with the Spielman Queen F3, DE, Knight E, and this is by far the most popular variation that I face when I've been playing this in practice. Let's go ahead and take to give that very, very light deficiency in the pawn structure. Now we need to finish basic development, so light square bishop first, and you'll occasionally get moves like bishop e6, where we can capture and then go queen b3. Queen b3 is a move we want to look for in some variations here, just for attacking ideas. Bishop d6, and now I know that they're eventually going to castle kingside and want to utilize the open e-file. So knight e2, followed by d4, getting a bit of space. And I begin to take a little bit of a risk here. Castle's kingside is completely solid. It's one of those zeros positions that the better prepared player typically wins, but I felt like taking some risk in this game. So I start with bishop e3, and black, in order to get close to equality here, needs to play not knight d7, which was played in the game, but queen a5 check, where it gets this little concession, and then it's getting me to castle kingside with a balanced game that both sides can fight from, but I prefer white by just a smidge. But after bishop e3, knight d7 was played, and this is giving us the opportunity to choose castling. Kingside, completely fine, but again, I want to go a little bit risky. Let's have some fun. Castle queenside, and my opponent missed an opportunity. Knight b6 would have been far more testing from black, trying to put some pressure on me and attacking the queenside. You must play actively or you're going to get squashed. In this case, the opponent did knight f8, which is a common theme in other Caro-Kann variations with the doubled pawns in order to solidify the structure. Problem is, there's no h5 like in that classical variation that he's trying to play this position as. Opposite side castling positions, what are we supposed to do? Attack. He missed the opportunity to attack me. I will not send it. h4, we're going up the board. Bishop e6. I don't want to waste time, and I want to speed up my attack, so let's go ahead and clip the bishop And a little bit of safety measures here. I don't want to have to worry about queen a5 or the like, so king b1, solidifying the king's cover and covering that a2 pawn, a6. Slow and steady, starting to begin the attack over there. We need to break through g4. Another good reason to get rid of that light square bishop earlier. I want more control over the light squares for the attack. Knight c7. Feel like my opponent's starting to fumble around a little bit here. The attack's coming very slowly, but mine is already arriving. g5. I'm very happy if black decides to capture, as this is going to open up the h-file, and it's going to be really difficult to survive with the queen being able to jump over and assist in the attack. So after g5, knight d5 is played in order to bolster that doubled f6 pawn. I want to keep attacking pieces in the position, so bishop c1, maintaining the tension. a5 is played. Still so slow with the attack. I say, okay, I want to be able to take, and I want to be able to continue the attack. Let's add more pressure. Rook d to g1, a4, and black has some coverage over f6. So if I capture, I don't want to trade queens. I don't want to be in this type of situation, and my knight's going to be hit on e2. Tension is the name of the game, so let's remove one of the guards of f6, c4. And after knight c7, now we're ready to capture. Black's hard-pressed to capture back. As queen takes, the game is going to be ending pretty soon here. So g6 is played. This is now a point of attack forced through h5. Black plays queen d7. Let's clip. And now there are a number of ways to win if you're playing the home game, but me being me, especially with this being a blitz game, f7 is something that you can calculate and figure out that it's a win. It's probably +5 or so if I had to guess. But it can be a little bit difficult to see with the knight being attacked in a number of variations. That f7 takes, takes. King attacks our rook. That it's easy to miss here. The rook d7 move, just trading pieces. And we're completely crushing here. So I go with Mr. Natural first. Knight c3. a3, no reason to allow you to mess up my structure, attack my knight. Still want to play f7, but let's go ahead and get the knight in the middle of the board. No risk to my play at all, and I'm still letting all of these very nasty tactical ideas linger. Knight e6, now f7, been waiting to play it for some time, and after queen takes, what's the most devastating way to finish this off? Utilize that open space. Knight f6 check. Rook takes h7. And finally, queen f7. And black's pretty hard pressed to do anything about the subsequent rook h1 move. So hopefully this announcement finds you excited, as I have been utilizing many of the lines in this course with private students for the better part of 2 years now. And through their games and my own practice games with this repertoire, I think you're going to find something that is hard-hitting and efficient with the number of lines that you need to learn to be able to play it at a high level. And I haven't been an e4 player for years, but I gotta say, I really enjoy the flavorful attacking positions that you get without having to actively be studying like a maniac all of these very deep variations that we find in the main lines. So wherever possible, I've tried to figure out ways to cut down on the number of trainables and much like previous courses like the Benoni Simplified or E6 Against Everything, minimal number of variations for maximum effort. So hopefully you're looking forward to it. Thanks for joining in. If you like this video, like and subscribe.